It's also called Android Studio. So now we'll do the necessary installation procedures. Android Studio is a completely free platform that can be downloaded and used by anyone. But then you have to learn how to use it, huh? Now, I also want to explain a little bit that IDE is a software application that combines all of the features and tools needed by a software developer. So a developer would be able to debug, run, and test applications with IDE. And because it provides useful debugging and testing features, it's all in one handy place. So IDE helps us in quickly navigating to a type without really needing to worry about our project. It also provides auto-completion. That means you start typing a part of a function or a class name and press a shortcut combination, and the rest of the name will be automatically typed in for you. Love it. Now, all these features are pretty good reasons for you to prefer an IDE. But I'll tell you something for nothing. The most used IDEs for Kotlin are Android Studio and IntelliJ. I prefer Android Studio, so I'm going to introduce Android Studio to you, and I'm going to write Kotlin programs on Android Studio during this course. Alright, how's that? So, if you want to continue with me, let's do these necessary steps to download Android Studio now. Right, so first up, we need to open our browser. So in the search bar, we just write Android Studio Download. Press Enter. And here we will open a second result, namely Download Android Studio and SDK Tools. If you pay close attention, the site is the developer.android.com site. Right? So this site is a site that Android developers must follow, my friends. So you can follow the latest developments, updates, and documentation required so that you too can develop applications on and for Android here. Alright, so we can now proceed with the download. So this looks like the most up-to-date version of our Android Studio. Of course, I do want to point out something here. Android Studio is continually updating. So even while I was creating this video, the most current version is 2020.3.1. So this version is called Arctic Fox. Right, so this version might appear different to you. But pretty much the download and installation process of Android Studio is the same. So it just won't make a difference. But if you do see a different version here, I just don't want you to worry. Alright, so just by following these steps, I'm going to explain how you can perform the download and installation process, and then we'll get going. Okay? Now, before proceeding with the installation process, I would like to show you these Android Studio system requirements. Now, at the end of the page is the system requirements section. So just review the section. You can find out whether the computer you're using is sufficient enough for Android Studio. Just a little disclaimer here. If your computer does not meet these specifications here, you could buy a new computer. Or you can just change some of your computer's features, right? For instance, if your computer is 4 gigs RAM, you could increase it to 8 gigs relatively simply and inexpensively. You could even drop back a version or two of Android Studio, but, you know, I would pretty much recommend you to just move forward. Whatever it takes, right? But anyway, let's just now download Android Studio. So I'll open up the top of the page. And if your computer's operating system just happens to be Windows 64-bit, it'll pretty much look like mine. And you can start the download process just by clicking the Download Android Studio button here. If your computer's operating system doesn't happen to be Windows 64-bit, well, you can click on the Download Options tab on the left. So when you click on that tab, see the download links for 64-bit, Mac 64-bit, Linux 64-bit. But yeah, you probably noticed there's no option for 32-bit operating systems. So it's time for you to get into the 21st century if you need that. I'll tell you why. Because Android Studio doesn't support 32-bit at all since version 4.0. So if your operating system is 32-bit, well, just go ahead and download Android Studio 3.6.3. All right? So this is the last version of Android Studio before 4.0. No shame in it, my friends. This is how we learn, right? Anyway, for this, we could click on the Download Archives link. And then from the window that opens up, we just need to accept the relevant contract terms. So with this, I could click the Agree with Terms button. And as you can see, we have accessed all of the versions of Android Studio. So we're a pretty versatile bunch, huh? So from here, you can find the 3.6.3 version of Android Studio and use a download link required for 32-bit operating systems. So whichever version you want, let's start the download process. So of course I'm going to open up the previous page since my computer's operating system is Windows 64-bit. That means I will download the appropriate Android Studio. But no matter which page you're on, just click on the file with the extension .exe here. Studio, we will need to accept the terms of the contract. After confirming the checkbox here, the button that we will use to download Android Studio becomes active. So clicking this button will start the download process. So I'll just click the button. And yeah, so here you can see that the download has started. And yes, just like before, the download process may take a little bit depending on your internet speed. So I'm just going to fast forward through this. Wow, that was fast. And now you can see that the download is complete. So I'll click on the arrow button, well, it's really an icon, to the right of the downloaded file and select the Show in Folder option. So here we can view the file that we've downloaded. So I'm just going to double click on this. Windows asks, do you allow this application to make changes to the computer? Yeah, that's quite a warning. I'm just going to press yes. So the warning might not appear for you. It's not really important. But whatever you have to do to install, you'll install, because here you can see the installation screen opens, and here we click on next. And once again, we press next. Right, so the location where the files will be saved will be written to, so you can change this location, or you can just keep it wherever it is by default. I usually prefer, actually, the default file path. That's why I just press the next button once again without making any changes. That way, if it knows, I know. So here it asks if we can create a shortcut for Android Studio. Now, in fact, it's reading my mind because I do want to create a shortcut. You don't have to if you don't want to, but just confirm the checkbox here. So I'm not going to make any changes. So now we can start the installation process. By clicking the install button here, we will start the installation. As you can see, the installation process begins. And just like downloading, this process may take some time, so I'll just fast forward. And yeah, that was a great installation. And now it's complete, so I'll press next. So it states that the installation process of Android Studio is now complete. Yay. So if we want Android Studio to start after the installation process, we just need to check this checkbox. I'm going to uncheck it though. And we're going to start Android Studio together. So please do that, and I'll press finish. Alright, so that completes the necessary installation process of all these things. So, in fact, you could call this the pre-installation of Android Studio, because we haven't quite completed the installation of Android Studio yet. We still need to install the SDK. That we're going to do in the next lesson. So we'll take a short break here, and I'll see you there.